Hi, I'm Aaliyah.
And I'm Johnna, and welcome to Lit and Loud.
Lit and Loud. That felt real good. I don't know. We're matching. We're synced.
Just two girls in luchador shirts.
Yes.
I should have this as the thumbnail.
I probably should have.
How you doing over there?
Crash.
I know the answer to this question.
We had our debrief. It has been a day. It is Thursday, April 9th. One for the books.
And we're done with it.
I'm done. Get me to Florida. I'm done.
Fuck me up, Florida. Same. Just inching my way there.
Yeah, it's been a day. But how are you?
Same, baby. Just been going all day.
Yeah, you have not stopped.
Yeah, I've worked 2 separate jobs. I took a meeting. I'm here now. This is the best part of my day so far. I won't lie. But better than my lunch break. So yeah, thriving. I also got a coffee this morning. If you want to know how much I was dragging ass this morning.
Ooh.
So, are you drinking anything good over there?
I'm drinking a Diet Coke because I need it. I had to get up to drop the car off for the inspection, hence the crash out, because of course nothing can be easy. And I have water because responsible. That's thanks to Drew.
Hey.
Shout out Drew for making sure I'm always hydrated.
Shout out to the good husbands.
What are you drinking?
I also have a water.
Oh,
I was that dumb bitch from TikTok that found mold in her straw yesterday. So
you moldy bitch.
I have been sick for about 3 months straight, so maybe I've washed it, but obviously not good enough. Maybe my Stanley's just been festering. Maybe I just unlocked the key because I was
the root of your
sick
sickness.
all week.
And you carry this bitch around everywhere. You are the one person I know that has their Stanley by their side.
If I could lay it down in the bed and not clobber my head on it in the night, I probably would.
Just to suck.
We're on fire today, folks. That sounded fucking crazy.
ASMR, baby.
You're welcome. That was free. Pay me for the next one. And then I'm drinking a 0 proof cocktail because if I got any kookier, it'd be bad news for everyone. Ooh. That's an Island Spritz. It's a craft mocktail infused with something I can't pronounce, adaptogens, and it's lightly sparkling, like myself.
Ooh. Lightly sparkle. Yeah, I love a little effervescent drink. Yum yum.
I just needed something bubbly.
Bubbly. Okay.
Coming down.
What do you read? We reading first? What are you reading? My list is not the same.
Reading?
I always list mine
silly.
Oh,
is it out of order?
Well, no, my note. I have a note.
Yeah.
Keep it in my phone.
So Aaliyah shares this note with me because I do the show notes, and I love nothing more than opening up our text thread and seeing that she edited the note and clicking on it to see like what her vibe is. It's the best.
I love that. Yeah, it's like having your friends' locations, and you're like, "What are you up to?"
I have that too. The amount of times I catch Aaliyah somewhere too, and I'm like, "What are you doing?"
Ooh,
frequent, very frequent. You a kava? You a hot pot? Sometimes I just hold up your little sim to Gabe, and I'm like, "Ooh, they're a hot pot," or like whatever, and he's like, "Why are you looking?" I was like, "I was just thinking about her."
I know. I'm like, she's somewhere
check on my Sims.
I'm like, she's somewhere the town up. I'm like, she's at a showing. She's doing this. I'm just guessing.
Mama's working.
She's always working. Hence today. Anyways,
back to what I was reading. I read 2 books this week so far. One is called Thicker Than Water by Megan Collins. It is a thriller. I would leave this. This book was not lit. Here's the deal. It wasn't bad, but I am much like you. This is where we really level out. I am a lock-in, this is my reality now person when digesting media. So I'm never going to watch a movie unless it's dog shit and like poke holes in it or like, you
Right.
know, because you're like, this is the universe I'm in and I'm accepting it. I don't really need to know logistics. Just let me dive into this. I can put my brain here. This is what's going on.
Yeah.
This book, I was able to guess like the twist, the ending, the XYZ. And I didn't love that. I found it to be a little predictable. And they had this like reoccurring bit. So the premise of the story is there is this woman and she is married to her husband, obviously, but she is also best friends with her husband's sister, so her sister-in-law, and they own a business together. And this book is based around their friendship and them running a business together. The husband gets in an accident and he's in a coma, and they kind of have to navigate thinking that he's guilty of something that he might not be, and investigating, and they have two very different temperaments and like all this stuff, which is all fine. But like I said, I guess the twist, they had this stupid ongoing bit. The first time the one girl met her husband's sister, they went out to dinner, and instead of saying potatoes, the husband said potatoes. So they keep saying potatoes over and over again. And I think the author thought that like we'd buy in and it'd be funny, but like down to she was sitting there with a mug on her desk that said liquid potatoes, nonsense to everyone, funny to I'm like, this is so fucking stupid.
Yeah.
Keep your liquid potatoes to yourself.
But I love a little inside joke.
When it lands. No. If that was my liquid potatoes joke, it'd be the funniest thing known to man. However, not my joke, so it's not funny.
Yeah.
And then to give you some serious whiplash, the other book I read was called The Tailors by Jen
Oh, I think I know about her.
You don't. I promise. Jen Calonita. Let's go with that. This is a book for children. It is a children's chapter book at approximately the 5th grade reading level. And I saw the cover and I thought to myself, I cannot part ways with this book, because there were 4 little girls on it dressed as different Taylor Swift eras. And I was like, I read what it was about and I was like, I have to read this book. I don't care that's for kids. So the premise of this book is Teffy. So her name's Taylor, but her family calls her Teffy, and she's really nervous. She's switching schools. She shows up on the first day of 5th grade, and she realizes that there's 3 other girls in her homeroom who are also named Taylor. All 4 of them are named after Taylor Swift. They're all Swifties, so they go by Teffy, Tay-Tay, TS, and Taylor. And they form this like legion of girly pops called the Taylors. They try to sell friendship bracelets to buy tickets to the concert. I'm going to go ahead and spoil this because I assume no one's going to read it. I got to tell you, my body had a physical stress reaction to this book is told in a timeline of X days till Taylor plays Indianapolis. And this was me, bitch. I had a stress reaction to reading this kid's chapter book because I was like, I think I text Kate. I was like, if they don't get tickets, it's over. So meanwhile, this morning,
response.
It's the day of the show and they don't have tickets, and they realized that they weren't going to be, they raised $2,000, which is really impressive, but tickets were more than that. Someone who bought 2. And they needed 5 because 4 of them young and a chaperone. So they donated their money to their local library because it had a fire and the town was trying to close it if they couldn't fundraise for it. And they do end up getting let into the show. And I was like, also, canonically, they got put in the VIP tent the same night. Not only was Joey Fatone there, my favorite NSYNC member, but the night Travis came to his last ever Eras tour. So I was just living my life. I went to Indie Nights 1 and 3, and they went on night 2. So I'm accepting this book as canon. Thank you. I love
this.
It was so good.
So cute.
I gave it 5 stars on Fable. I was like, any Swiftie read this book because it's so sweet. All the chapter names are Taylor Swift songs. It is so Girl Scouty, so like uplifting and sweet. They get stressed and they're like, I'm just gonna shake it off. Like, it's so cute. And it was a 4-hour audio, so I whipped through it in like 2.5. So it was really quick. I had this moment where I reflected and I was like, am I dumb? Do I read at a 5th grade reading level? Because this hit so hard and I vividly remember every detail. Like, do I just read out of my depth?
Not you having multiple existential crises while reading
a children's book.
I think it resonated with you, friend. I think it touched a heart. I was a bystander in this because I feel the same joy, the space you were in, the stress. I remember running into you at Walmart and you were like, I'm sitting here in this aisle wasting time because I need to get a raffle ticket or something. Like, I remember this consuming your life, and this is me with Beyonce. Yeah. So I'm there. I'm on the same level. And I think it resonated deeply for you. It was that
it really did.
Girl power. And I was Come on.
Also just laughing because like this book could be written about adults but be a thriller.
Crazy ending there.
Yeah.
I could see it.
What are you reading?
Wow, that was a banger. It's hard to follow that. Well, not to rain on that, but I have finished Project Hail Mary. Guys, big moment for space in my brain right now. I love this so much. I really could take up so much space. I texted Johnna. I have been like inundating her because I'm so behind. You read it a month or two, or like you've read it some time ago.
I read it in December.
Or January. Yeah, it's been so long, like very long for you. So I am like the movie and then getting to read it. Oh, so it was fantastic, to be expected. I have a lot of thoughts about like the book to movie adaptation. We have 2 perspectives. We're going to do a whole episode on it, so I'm not going to like get into it, but God, just know I really enjoyed this, and sci-fi is hard for me sometimes. So I'm pleased, to say the least. I listened to it too, so I have another perspective because I get to listen to Rocky and the bleep bloops, and I'm just so amazed about it.
Can I tell you that I had to Google how they put Rocky's voice in type? Because I was like, how is someone reading this? Like, is it like beep boop bop boop? And it's literally music notes in the book, like stanzas of music.
Incredible. I have a lot to say. We'll have much more structure to that conversation, but just know I love everything about it. Yeah, we're going to do an
ep on it.
Yeah, I am very impressed. There were points that were hard for me. It is science-y. The one takeaway, I was like, damn, there is far more science in this. There's much left to the imagination or just plainly kind of told in the movie. So it was nice to have a real fleshed out story for this, and I love it even more. So I think both are excellent, to say the least.
Yay. Same. I thought that was a really incredible adaptation.
Yeah.
I don't have a lot of notes because I honestly think that them omitting so much, that would have been a super boring movie if they had that much science in it, and it would have been less palatable for the average viewer. But I think just about anyone could sit down and love that movie.
Absolutely. Yeah, especially like making it to Rocky, because that's the part that shines so heavily in that book is, Grace's and Rocky's relationship and them encountering each other and their whole mission. So the actual mission is pushed so much faster in the movie than it is in the book. So that's like the biggest difference. So if you're like it's going to be so different, that's really the biggest difference, I guess. But I'm just enamored. I'm so into it. I'm really into space right now. It's in my obsessed too. I have also finished another banger, Game On by Navessa Allen. Yes. You were right, Mama.
Stop the landing, babe.
She like did a whole 180. Like, this was so good. This was the same energy as Lights Out, albeit not the same, because
very different dynamics, same banter, same energy.
Right. Same energy. The dialogue went crazy. I think the characters are very similar to Josh and Allie. Gaemon specifically really wins in the found family department. And I get got every time. I don't care what genre. If there's a little found family in there, I am hooked. I'm into it. So I leaned heavily on that, especially in the epilogue. I was like, let's go. I was driving back from work and I was like, having it.
I absolutely love stories that weave together. So we can talk about like the Ruinous Love trilogy, how Scythe and Sparrow weaves all together. We can talk about the Souls trilogy, how those are 3 stories that all converge. So getting to that epilogue, I loved that so much because that is how Caught Up ended. Tyler and Stella sit down and everyone goes, how'd you meet? And they say, oh, it's a long story. And we get the whole story and then we get the other side of the dinner and it's everything.
It's amazing.
I've seen a lot of like really shit 2-star takes about this book, and I'd like to let everyone know that they're entitled to their wrong opinion. And Gaemon was not a better book objectively. I sent Aaliyah a post today, and they ranked the 3 books.
Fucking rage bait.
Caught Up, Gaemon, Lights Out. Lights Out at the bottom. And I sent it to Aaliyah, and she's like, this is rage bait. And I'm like, it's fucking working.
It is, because I'm mad about it. Yeah,
I'm real proud of her.
I don't know her, the execution,
but I'm proud.
Our parasocial relationship, I'm very proud of Navessa Allen for really pulling out a goodie. It was such a joy to read too. It was the right length when they merged, and I was like, what's gonna happen? There's 2 hours left in this fucking book.
Oh yeah,
a lot happened. I love a jam-packed plot. I love them like, whoa, oh, duh, duh, and
give me more. Yes.
And that was a lot. Oh, there's a lot of that. And I mean, that's kind of how her writing is. It's like dynamic and the plot's moving and there's a lot of conflict and, a lot of like big character development in such a short time. So I was eating it up. It was very good. So great reading week so far.
Incredible forward in the book, which is to women who are attracted to men against their will, and also Stella makes a huge rip on Tyler for being blonde, and that was so funny.
It right in the beginning too. I was like, I love her. I love her energy so much. Something about a bratty bisexual dude who has deep-seated trauma really does something for me. So
gaga.
I am also reading. Still reading Love in the West End. I'm enjoying that for our conversation with Maud Winters. And I've also started a novel, Chance by E.S. Roslin, who we will also be interviewing in a few weeks.
Huge interviews coming up.
My Kindle is just working. She's back in my pocket. I've been doing my hot girl walks and reading again, which feels really good for your brain because I'm sure there's like fine motor skills that I should be honing in. So it's helping.
2 at once.
Yeah, baby. I'm trying to get on your level. Typing, listening, walking, breathing.
Oh, that is like so my level of stimming. Sometimes I'll be listening to a book, taking notes on it, and rhinestoning. The further I get into my life, I realize that I am like such a sensory seeker. And I almost feel like this is like Curse of the Gifted Child, right? I feel like I denied myself the ability to like do shit like this. And then I'm doing it all at once. And I'm just in a flow state. And Gabe will look at me and be like, what the fuck is happening? And I'm just like,
you're like, I'm in a different plane. I'm on a different plane, my guy.
Literally,
when I come down. What you watching?
So I know that we're both watching 2 of these things. Everyone's life is spiraling out of control on the Pitt, and I feel like we don't need to have a full debrief on it.
I'm ready for it to be done.
But we're definitely at the pinnacle of everything that's happening. So we have 2 episodes left. Everything is stressful. That is what I have to report. Vibes shit. And I can't wait to see where this goes because I don't understand how they're going to wrap up so much ill will.
And like shit just keeps happening because that's realistic. Shit is still happening. I'm like, there
happening.
is so much to get through before the end of this. So like, how are we
Also,
going to do it?
Abbott asking everyone to stay to do those notes. I was like, that sucks. I understand it's also
That was
not night shift
crazy.
job, but that sucked.
It does. And I mean, that's very realistic. Like they have all had,
Right.
you're watching exactly what's happening every day in hospitals. But yeah, that I was like, damn. Can you imagine like just being at the finish line and being told that you have to continue to do your job?
Right. When you just fought for your life all day.
Literally.
Ugh. Okay.
I'm done.
So parting ways with the Pitt. I have finished Jury Duty Presents Company Retreat. I see that this is in your notes. I know you love Anthony like I love Anthony. I specifically want to offer one. Did you finish it?
No, I'm on episode. So the redheaded evil children people are
the redheaded company.
They came for the game day. I watched the game day episode last night.
So this isn't a spoiler, but there is a scene where Dougie and Anthony are going to do something, and Dougie is explaining himself over and over and over again. And Anthony looks at him and says, "I believe in you, buddy. It sounds like you don't believe in yourself."
Perfect person for this show.
This man is so pure throughout this entire show, and he got thrown into chaos. He got put in crazy situations, and he floated to the top every time.
For real. Here's the one thing I'm going to say about that. I don't want to hear fucking shit. I don't want to know anything about him. I want to go and with the observation that this man unknowingly was supporting all of these people in the craziest way that was beyond a temp position. Like I don't want to hear anything bad. That's what I'm gonna say. I don't want to know if he knew. I don't want to know. I don't think he did. People are like,
I don't think there's no way he knew.
There's no fucking way. This is a production.
Yeah, and when I got to the end of the road with the show, they are going to do a series that's a behind the scenes series, so I can't wait to watch that.
Oh. Okay.
I don't think there's any, based on the end, the reveal, I don't think there's any way he knew.
Okay. Yeah, a lot of people, I mean, cuz now of course I'm getting all of the content around it. Content, especially on Threads, so I'm trying to like stay away from it, but yeah, I mean, and I have to say about this, like, I don't know how you feel, but I like this more than Jury Duty because I'm far less stressed. Like, yes, there's obviously always like a conflict.
They really put the hero in Jury Duty through some crazy shit.
Crazy stuff.
The behind the scenes show, they sit down Mr. Jury Duty and Anthony. And I want to see them have a conversation. I can't fucking wait.
Hey, you also struggling? Do you have psychosis? Are you in psychosis currently?
I looked at Gabe. I was like, I'd die. I'd never know what was real again.
I'd never trust anyone. I wouldn't trust a single person ever again. For people that don't know, this is a show based. It's basically the Truman Show. There's one person that's put in a situation, and everyone's an actor, and they're all improving around him, like improving and kind of following this script in a way. I don't know. It's improving, but with a direction. And these people, I gotta say, these actors are really doing it, especially for Company Retreat. I'm like, these people are nuts. And everyone is so fleshed out too. All of these people, I'm like, I know everyone. I know everyone.
I cannot wait for you to finish this because there's a very specific moment in the reveal that I have to talk to you about, but I'm just going to keep my little mouth shut.
Oh, I'm excited. Yeah, I'm going to finish that this weekend fast. It's good. Yes. It is like a perfect show. Like it's quick. It's also makes you think too. I can't. Oh, I have a note here about this too because I'm piggybacking off this. The fleshlight incident being the opener for that one episode. Literally, I'm looking at Drew. I'm like, I am standing up on the bed. I'm like, do you understand what is happening right now? Like trying to explain this to
the water bottle.
Sick. And then the guy comes back.
I love that they blamed realtors for all of it too, because they're guilty. Like
Miami realtors.
I have been at a real estate convention and I watched a few thousand realtors dress up and go see Lenny Kravitz, and the amount of like pleather and white wine happening in that room should be condemned. The things I've witnessed with these eyes, like, yes, someone left a fucking fleshlight. Thank you.
It's just ridiculous. It is incredible writing. I think it's even better than Jury Duty.
Oh,
TV.
so good. And then I am watching one more thing. I have finished this season of Love on the Spectrum. I love this show. I think that this show gets a lot of shit, but every person that's ever been on it says that they were treated right and they love the producer. So until that narrative changes, I'm rolling right along. You get so wrapped up, so invested in these stories, just like you would any other reality TV show. And
You do.
they are just... There are people on that show that are so sweet and deserve all the best things, and you get to watch them get it, and it's the best feeling. And just to couple in there with this one moment, for whatever reason, Francois was partying with them, and I don't understand why, but I don't know how to get over it. The picture of Francois and Madison, I'm like, oh, actually, this is what I have to say. Madison and her fiance Tyler were going to like a historical site tour, and someone recognized her and said, "Maddie, I love you." And it sent her off the rails, which is fine. I'm not faulting her. Could you imagine being that fan and being so excited to watch this season and realizing it was you?
Yes. Yeah. I remember I saw a clip of that. I mean,
Crazy.
valid, absolutely. But yeah, I would not. I would be like, kill me, strike me dead.
I'd get on TikTok and issue a public apology. She'd have to know that I was sorry.
Yeah.
I'd sneak into her wedding. I don't give a fuck. I'd figure it out. What are you watching?
I am also watching New Girl still. We are enjoying ourselves. We're in season 2. This is when shit gets real good. I've watched New Girl. I want to say this is like my 8th watch through. I've watched it a lot of times. Drew was like, "You okay if I keep watching this episode?" I'm like, "Honey, I have it memorized at this point."
Right.
Like, let it rip. Yeah, it's the good season. We're moving into like big character development arcs, and it's actually really fun to watch from the beginning again because you see all the things you've missed, and yeah, it's been a while for me, so a lot of it feels fresh again.
Fresh but comfortable.
Yeah, like I don't feel like I have to be super locked in, but I'm like, oh, hold on, this scene's funny. Like, good, comfy TV. We have 2 more episodes of RuPaul's Drag Race. Last week was pretty predictable. They did a morning show challenge, improv again, or no, like improv, but they kind of had a actually before all of this, the episode opens with all the girls boo-hooing about Jane leaving, and everyone is just completely gagged, like beyond completely gagged, and
Funny.
like yeah, and Darlene's just really having a come apart. She's boo-hooing. That was her bestie. She gave her, the strength to continue on in the season, and it was really sad to see. So I don't know. I'm still feeling real raw about it, but I know she'll be fine. And yeah, this whole episode just kind of felt like, all right, we done yet? It was just very, I feel like they're running out of shit. The beauty of Drag Race is the unexpected, and there's less and less of that. It's very to the books, and I'm over it. So, yeah, we have the Lollapalooza episode. Queens come back to lip sync. Then we have the finale while we're in Florida. I hope Mikey wins, or Darlene. I love Darlene Down, but I'm sure Mikey will win. And I'm very happy for her regardless, because I think she absolutely ate up the season. But yeah. I'm like not excited for All Stars. I'm like, whatever about it.
Fair enough.
So,
Rue's had too many chances.
Yeah, there's a lot. I mean, we're so wishy-washy with watching in real time, but I did like the girls in this season, so All right, what are you obsessed with?
I am obsessed with 3 things. First, food planning for Flower and Garden Festival. I am so excited. Get me in Epcot. Get me in Florida. There is
Yes.
a
What are you excited to eat?
limoncello basil slushy situation that I need so bad. I'll share I'm going to make my list this weekend, so I'll share it with you.
Yeah, please.
That's the first one. The second one is we have seen a video of the losers in Dare Omnibus. And not only is she gorgeous, but I could never in a million years have predicted that the fucking pages are black.
Black, mama.
Black.
I was like, ooh,
white text. Why it gotta be black?
What, the whole thing?
And
it's thick. She thick.
It's this big. It has to be over 1,000 pages because each of those books is 400 something. And then we have the Dare. So I cannot wait to get my hands on that. I can't wait to be jumping up and down with excitement, opening up mail, and then flipping the cover around for Gabe to see that it is a girl dressed as an angel licking a boot.
Yep.
Oh, real recognizes real. The third thing I am obsessed with is I cannot stop digesting content of that heated rivalry lookalike contest where the Aaliyah and the Shane started making out. Because first of all, what a hot kiss. I'll say what needs to be said. That kiss.
Everything. Aaliyah too.
Boys,
that Aaliyah was good.
But wait.
Settle down.
Here's what I've learned. He won a different heated rivalry lookalike contest, which is hilarious. That was his second one. And third, fake Aaliyah and fake Shane went on a real date.
Oh,
you got to be happy about the little things because our world feels really doomed right now. So I will be watching boys kiss. Thank you.
Thank you very much to make myself feel better.
Just a girl. What are you obsessed with?
I'm obsessed with space, the travels, the expeditions, the landings, the exploration of it all. Artemis 2, the space mission has happened.
The exploration of it all.
I was hoping you'd edit in fun.
I wish I could edit magic in Star Trails.
Yes. Yeah, like most of America, I am very, very, very obsessed with the current space mission, Artemis 2. It is historical. It is incredible. It is just everything. I am so impressed always by scientists and people who are far smarter than I am. I'm just floored. I cannot get enough. I'm refreshing. I have their live stream in the background while I'm working. I'm always checking up on them. Everything the big moments that have happened. I've highlighted 2 things that I'll talk about because I can talk about everything. There's 3 things I'm going to talk about. First thing is the images coming out. I am gagged.
She's
I am gooped. I'm shaking. It's just really cool. It's photography shit too, like them shooting with iPhones. They all took a photography class before they went out as a team, which is so cute.
I love that.
And their composition is incredible. The space that they have to work in is not the easiest, and it's just really cool what they're doing. I am also very much so obsessed with Christina Cook. Everything about her, full stop. Bad bitch, a baddie, and she is
women in STEM and space.
Women in STEM. She is just everything. That photo specifically of her looking out at Earth with her braid in 0G.
Does watching her out there give you that same magical feeling, even if it's soured, of when we watched Kamala be put into vice president position and you had that just incredible feeling of a fucking woman. A
fucking woman.
Little girls are going to get to grow up and understand that they can be represented in the White House, that understand they can go to space, they can do these incredible things.
Right.
I think that representation feels it feels good to an adult who was told I can do whatever I want my whole life, but never got to see it played out.
Right. Our generation's like dreams. The things that we are doing, us sitting to like here, us having our silly little podcast, generations of women before us could not even do anything like this. Like, so it feels
Right.
that feels just so much bigger than me too. This is something I couldn't even conceptualize. The families back at home, especially all of the daughters too. I'm just I am real touched about the whole thing. The other thing I'm obsessed with Artemis is the bright spot Carol. The team had dedicated this discovered bright spot on the moon. I don't know the details. And they named it after one of the
Stop.
astronauts' wife who passed away during this mission, because missions aren't, this is not an isolated thing. This is like years and years and years of work. And these people become like family. And unfortunately, one of the astronauts' wives died of cancer, and they named it after her. And they had this beautiful speech to him, and it just tore my ass. Every time I think about it, I'm like, I can't talk too much about it because I'll start crying. It is what
I
a beautiful
know.
thing. I'm just
And that
his
same
daughters.
sweet astronaut who held up his Eras Tour bracelet to his girls, like,
Mm-hmm.
not
Just
a competent dad.
oh, girl. So yeah, this whole thing has gotten me gooped. It makes me have hope in humanity. Like, it gives you that hope because beyond the bullshit. The one thing that was the funniest thing was them having to listen to fucking Trump after being out
And
for
them
40
refuse
minutes.
to reply.
They're all like we
Can you
need
hear
to
me?
exist.
Yep.
Someone commented, they're like, not even in space can you escape the motherfucker.
I saw a picture and it was, I'm jealous because they're the furthest away from Trump they could possibly be. Yeah.
That yeah, what a beautiful thing. Living in Florida, I just think about like the videos I've seen of people sitting on their roofs and watching,
Mhm.
living near Cape Canaveral. But yeah, what a cool thing to be alive for. This is like the first time I've
Very
kind of
much
been like
so.
locked into something like this. I know they go up there all the time for certain things, but this is obviously
Not
a
like this,
landmark mission.
baby. Yeah.
Yeah, this is a landmark mission. So I'm always so impressed by astronauts and NASA. So yeah, that's what I've been obsessed with. It's taken up a lot of brain space, to be quite honest, and I'm happy for it. I feel like you in the Olympics. I'm like, gotta check on my astronauts.
Gotta check on my Sims.
They're coming home tomorrow, so I'll be watching that, of course. Stressed.
Please, angels.
Make it home safe. All right, my friends, we are jumping back in for part 3 of Margo's Got Money Troubles by Rufi Thorpe. Get 'em. Okay. Trigger warnings off the top: grooming, addiction, and substance abuse. So just make sure you take care of yourselves. We're going to finish up this baddie here. We got a lot to talk about.
Let's cover some ground. Where we left off last time, Margo and Jinx have just been served with papers. We found out that Bodhi's dad, Mark, is trying to sue her for full custody because he's a fucking loser. And
Loser.
Jinx called Mark and cut a promo on him, and he's scared shitless. So Jinx's was a restraining order. They found a lawyer, and they have hired him. They loved him. He fed them donuts and like really leveled with them, and so far so good on Ward. Chapter 17 opens up with Margo having a flashback to being in Mark's class. And I think that this is one of the last flashbacks we get where she sees him as a professor, which I think is very interesting. Mark is teaching a class on a book, I think it was in German, on a big nose that like ran away. And he's discussing with all his students, how did you picture the nose? How did you personify this nose in your head? And
Right.
everyone kind of says something different, which is interesting. And Mark says, the point is that it's possible to form sentences that make sense syntactically, but don't make any meaning. Words can be made hollow, and once they are hollow, anything can be done with them, which I think is very interesting. It's a reflection on him wanting full custody. Once they are made hollow, And Margo really feels like the custody battle even is starting to become nonsense. All the words stop being attached to anything. They're all hollow at this point. And Margo and Mark are just reduced to petitioner and respondent. All this happening, figuring out how much a trial costs. Margo attempts to try mediation with Mark, which I think is a fine path forward.
Yeah.
Margo also realizes that she has missed her mom's wedding. She was uninvited, remember? And she kind of sees her mom's wedding unfold in a series of Facebook posts. She did wear the dress that Margo picked her because Margo is forever her best champion, her best personal shopper. And then while Margo's looking through all these, she gets a message from JB. Oh, I forgot to add, Margo has just been doxxed.
Doxed real bad. Yeah. I was like,
doxed real bad on her personal Facebook. Everything is going wrong for our queen. The message from JB reads, so you're from California and you don't have a brother named Timmy and your mom's named Cheyenne and you have a baby? On Instagram, someone said, at Margo Millet, is this you? And I clicked it. And sure enough, it was you, Margo. Such a mongo of a name. What does that mean?
I don't know. Like, was he trying
Such
to be
a
cute?
mongo? Right. Such a mongo of a name. Why did you call yourself Susie, of all things? I feel like it doesn't suit you. Jesus, Margo, why am I so gut punched? I'm not even mad. I feel like an idiot. Of course you were lying. I was stupid to think that you weren't lying. I was paying a girl to pretend to fall in love with me, and I got confused and fell in love instead. I'm an idiot.
I mean, he said it. I was like, what did you cannot be mad at this girl. This is strange. Right. I got icked out so hard, and I'm glad he makes a turn. But like, I got icked very, very hard.
100%. And like, of course he was always going to fall in love with Margo because even though he was paying her, she was giving him a lot of attention. And that doesn't feel like something that he had in other places in his life.
Right. Yeah, like he was serving. I mean, he didn't come to her with creepy vibes. He full intended to create a relationship with her, to be quite honest. Like, you don't reach out and have that like tender moment with just anyone. I'm sorry.
Yeah, very true. Margo responds with something even crazier than that message. She responds with her phone number and says, please call me. Nuts.
Crazy. A little bit. I would be like, all right, too much is happening.
She apologizes in the message as well, and she says that she was sorry, and he acknowledged that fantasy production was her whole game. And he was the silly one, so he knows. That's what's kind of so tough here is that he knows that he took it too far, and he knew he was getting played, but at the same time, like,
they were having an exchange. I don't think it was all in his head.
Right. She started asking him questions. She acted like she was interested, which is tough. After he says that he was silly, Margo reminds him that he's a client and he just absolutely spirals and hangs up. And Margo feels absolutely empty about this. She feels terrible. So that's, our big indicator. She was feeling something too.
Right.
The day after that, Margo heads to Rose and KC's house to make more content. And in the car, Susie casually mentions, because she's a real one, that she has been fired from her job for taking all the time off to help film the TikToks and support with Bodhi. And she does ask to get paid for her contributions, which I think is reasonable because it never feels good to be the team member that kind of slipped through the cracks. Everyone's making money off this. Weird.
Too hot.
Everyone's making money off this except for Susie. And Susie lost her job over it, so she was really committed.
Right.
Margo immediately tells her yes. Margo's a little stressed out about it. This is the second time we see where she offers money to Susie that she kind of doesn't think she has. She offered to pay part of her rent, and she had just paid Ward $10,000 for his retainer. Could you imagine just having 10 grand to be like,
here you go? No, that's a dream.
No.
That's what I'm trying.
No, goals. Peek behind the curtain, we're broke.
Give us sponsorship. Help us make money.
When Margo and Susie get to the house, Casey has a man over that Margo immediately does not vibe with and nicknames him Snoop Dork, which is so good. Again, Margo's
Perfect.
sense of humor. Yes.
I can't wait to see it on the screen.
And I know. I was gonna talk about this too. Every bit of content, every teaser I get out of this, I am foaming at the mouth about.
Yeah.
Oh my God,
Yeah,
I'm
give it to me.
gobbling it up. There's like
So
little
good.
things I see where I'm like, that doesn't happen. That's not like that. And then I'm like, it's okay. It's gonna
It's
be okay.
okay.
It was in such safe hands.
I could get into this. I don't like how much I'm seeing of like Cheyenne and Jinx in the same room. I'm like, what is happening?
That specifically.
Okay.
And then
We're
we
on the
get
same
that. We
wavelength.
also get that cut. There's one cut in a trailer of Jinx and not throwback Jinx in a wrestling ring.
Yeah.
And we fucking know he has so much pain. Like there's
Bad.
no way he can be in a wrestling ring.
Exactly. He's lifting up Bodhi and throwing his back out. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah.
I'm not going to prejudge. I'm
We'll
going
see.
in full.
Again, I really feel like it was in safe hands.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll see. Casey is so involved in whatever Snoop Dork is doing that Rose suggests that they shoot without her. And she also reads through the scripts and mentions to Margo that they're not up to par, which is mean.
Oh.
And this just really feels to Margo like everything is coming down on her. The custody, getting doxxed, losing JB. Now her friends don't think she's good at what she's been doing. Margo just cries, which I think is fair. Like that is truly the straw that broke the camel's back. Rose says that maybe they should all be writing the scripts, which again, this has been something that Margo's been so proficient in and she's found so much joy in, so that's tough. Susie and Margo opt to leave and go back home. Susie tells Margo in the car that the TikToks were fine, but Rose said all that to make everything Margo's fault, even though her and Casey weren't ready to film.
A real one.
Susie, you're a real one.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I'm glad she said that.
I loved that little bit of insight. Same, because it wasn't Margo's. I was there in the moment. I read the scripts. They were up to snuff, and it wasn't Margo's fault.
It wasn't.
Margo apologized.
She didn't need to be kicked down. And she backtracked in that moment really hard and was definitely not jiving with the current situation, but did not handle it well for Margo. I feel bad for her.
Yeah.
That feels like fake shit. Fake bitch shit. I don't know. I like it.
Margo did enter an established friend group. So, of course, she's going to make up for her. And Margo always talks about the balance of Rose calming Casey. So, this is just another example of what we already knew, even though it was to Margo's detriment.
Right.
But boo hiss anyway.
Mad.
As we get into chapter 18, it is mediation day. And I'd be sick to my stomach. I wouldn't be able to sleep. I'd be in a real bad place, especially having to confront Mark, not seeing him for all this time.
Right.
Margo is mostly worried that she may have overdressed. She had on a blazer, boyfriend jeans. Her and Jinx had gone shopping and she put on something powerful. And now she's worried that she's wearing something too powerful. And she's wondering if she should have dressed for sympathy. Which I feel like this is real. I've never been to court. I hope to never go to court. Thank you. But I 100% you see in like true crime dramas and movies and TV, like that they dress women down and things like that to get sympathy.
Yeah, I don't know. This is a nightmare situation for me all around. I'm just like
puke.
I can't even think about what to wear. I'm just trying not to be here physically, so
I know. A situation you definitely don't want to be in. They open up the mediation session and there's a woman named Nadia leading it. She is the mediator and she asks them, what are your takeaways and what are your goals for this? And I think that's obviously she's a professional mediator. I think that's a really good way to open up that conversation. And immediately Mark delivers a very rehearsed statement. He wants full custody because he believes that Margo is in financial jeopardy. She's living with her father that threatened him and she's doing sex work.
Okay.
Boo.
Yes.
Women can.
All right, guy. Like,
We get it.
we know why you're here, you piece of fucking shit. Like,
Right.
and I can't.
Oh,
What
he
happens?
gets
I'm like,
his.
yeah, say shit starts rolling out about you real quick, you loser.
Mm-hmm. And Margo tries to adjust herself in the moment after finding out that Mark knows that she's on OnlyFans because she was really hoping he didn't. And she tells the mediator that she makes web content of erotic nature, but not porn. And that's her job. And Ward had reminded her over and over again, this is your job. This is not illegal. Keep saying that it's your job.
Right.
And she also tells the mediator that she thinks that the demand for full custody is punishment for her having that job and her dad's behavior. Which, like, it kind of is,
Crazy.
but it's kind of punishment for Mark, too. Come to find out.
Just you wait.
Mark says that he's getting a divorce, so the custody would just be with him. It wouldn't be with his wife and his other 2 kids.
What?
And
Oh.
Margo in this moment wonders if he got a 2-for-1 deal with his lawyer for 2 custody battles.
Killer.
That's our girl.
I love Margo.
Get it? She's such a diva. After hearing that Mark's getting a divorce, she could not imagine that he was actually serious, that he would want the baby alone in an apartment, which is so real. Like, what man? My man, but what man, you know?
Right. Like, well, maybe not mine, but yeah, that is wild to say the least.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was really shocking. Margo says that her ideal situation is for Bodhi to know both parents, and she really felt like she was giving up ground by saying this.
Right.
But she was saying that Mark could have visitation, but Margo wanted full custody because she's breastfeeding.
This is like
Reasonable.
I mean, reasonable. She couldn't have painted herself any better. Like, I know a lot of like this type of court negotiation is very image based, and like it's the state by state. It's also, you know, all of those influences. Like, I feel like Margo, as unequipped as she has been this whole time that we've witnessed, she's really like starting to morph into a person who can really take charge and like, you know, pave her path and make her decisions and try to like really mend things. And this is a beginning of that for her. And and ultimately, because she cares about Bodhi, you get to see like a mother in action here and her grow
for
up in a
sure.
way.
Immediately it becomes clear to Margo that Mark has not thought this through at all. He says that his schedule is super flexible, but the mediator says, what will you do while you're at work? He has absolutely zero plan. And he says, well, maybe Margo can watch him. And the mediator immediately reminds him that Margo is a mother, not a daycare center.
Right.
Louder.
Louder.
And Margo says that she thinks it's weird that he deems her fit to watch him during the day while he's working, but that she's not a fit mother. Margo is so quick on her feet here.
Yeah, like it is. It's infuriating, but this is so important, and it's just it feels like a small detail of the moment, but like, and like it's just like a plot pusher for Mark being a dick, but it's so big. It speaks volumes on how women are perceived in these types. Like she's a mother.
And it only gets worse. Yeah.
Yeah.
Could you imagine being Margo and having to pump a bunch of milk and handing your child off to Mark with the milk that you made?
To Mark? No. Full stop there.
Mark?
With the milk you made with your body?
Right. That.
So, let's remember.
After learning all that, Margo explains her living situation and provides financial statements. And she can immediately tell as Nadia is reading them that she is very impressed by what Margo is bringing in. And she should be, because she found a fucking way. Mark is so Mark. Mark continues to cut off anything that Margo offers as a counterpoint to anything she says. And Nadia really recenters the conversation. Let's remember, this is about what's best for Bodhi, and asks what Mark is specifically concerned about bringing up all this shit about Margo. And
I'm just
Mark
mad.
says, Mark says it's nudity. Nudity? And Margo reminds him that she literally breastfeeds him. Like, this is an infant. Get a fucking grip. She's not fucking dudes.
Right. Okay. Here's the other thing I thought about in this moment. He is not an active parent. That is such a fucking red flag. I mean, from someone who has like a mild social work background, working in the things that I have, watching this person not be like truly try to target this woman clearly because he's upset at her and does not care about the betterment of this child and this child's life. Like, I know you were an active parent for those other 2 kids you have. Like, the fact that it's something that you really thought, she's like, are you fucking serious? I breastfeed this child. Nudity is not a, like,
right.
What are you talking about?
He sees my titties more than I do. Anyone. Right.
Man, this is so patriarchal and it makes me sick.
When Margo reminds him that Bodhi is breastfed, Mark becomes flustered and says, he dug his fucking grave here. She's a child. That's all I'm saying. It's not personal, Margo. I would say this about any 21-year-old. You're just not ready to raise a baby. And Margo replies, I was certainly old enough for you to fuck me.
On a silver platter.
That. It's so hypocritical. The angle is such shit. I
hate
loud.
him.
Too lit, too loud.
I'm getting lit. I pulled out my blanket.
What a fucking loser. From the bottom of my heart.
Right. Loser totally just is the perfect snapshot of the baby daddy in a way that I just fucking... As someone who doesn't have
the baby daddy that fucked his student, like, spot on.
Yeah. Creepy professor. You are so many tropes, my guy. It's not even funny. It's ridiculous.
Oh, yeah.
You loser.
After this outburst, Nadia separates them both into 2 different rooms. They realize after some separate room mediation that they cannot come to an agreement, and Nadia sets a time for them to meet in a month. Sure. Maybe he'll steep in his own filth for a while and think about it.
Fingers crossed. Praying.
Real. When Margo gets back home, she fills Jinx and Susie in and processes how Mark can tell the same story as she does, but she feels power in it, and he makes it seem like a tragedy. And I think that this is such a great take because, of course, Mark's like, she's doing sex work. And she's like, I'm doing sex work. I've never had this much money in my life. I work from home. I can take care of my baby. And I don't have to leave my house. And I am providing. Boom. That makes she feels so much empowerment in this. And Mark just keeps saying it's tragic. And I think that's one of the big things she has a really hard time leveling with him about, because it's not tragic to her. Like, she fucking figured it out.
Right. She just did what she had to do. And you are the loser. You are the loser sitting here and judging her for all the steps that she's made to, like, better herself, make sure her child's fed, do all of the things, because you were also irresponsible. Fucking your student. I hate Mark so
fuck you, Mark. Mark, fuck you.
Hey, Mark.
And thinking this really made Margo realize that she was focused on controlling the narrative, as she should be, because she honestly has a really powerful story here, and she is really invested in putting her finger on a scale that was stacked against her, because as we just talked about through that whole mediation, it was absolutely stacked against her. After mediation, Margo spends 3 days making and editing a video where she's controlled by Rigoberto, the Roomba, and she's proud of it. She ends it with her masturbating to his exact instructions. So this is the full vagine, ladies and gentlemen.
Boom.
And she's excited because she can clip PG content from it for TikTok and post the full thing on OnlyFans behind a paywall. This is my icon. This is my working mama.
Yeah. Genius, too.
And again, the character here. So she says, controlled by Rigoberto, Ghost would become a truly evil heel and do all sorts of terrible comical things to Rose and Casey. Eventually, Casey and Rose would make a plan to incapacitate her somehow, unscrew the panel, and make her normal again. Though, of course, she'd be a new version of Ghost altogether. Neither the old naive Ghost nor the evil bot Ghost, but a more complex and nuanced and human Ghost. My
Ooh,
girl thinking.
I
She a
love
thinker.
this. I love a series too. I love, like, if this was on my TikTok, you'd know I'd be in it.
Eating it
Same as the
up.
Bro Cruise. It's like Bro Cruise.
Yeah.
It's like stupid shit.
It's like my heated rivalry boys. Like, you let me know. Margo posts the video and 500 fans bought it for $25 a pop. So she made $12,500 off of finally posting full vagine.
Hey, good
Proud of
money right
you.
there, girl.
Yeah. She tallied up all the money that JB had sent her and she wanted to return it, but she was really worried about needing it for trial. Her making all this money and immediately being like, can I pay this boy back? She is
She's
down
better than
so
me.
bad.
She's better than me. She is down bad. She's like,
Yes.
maybe he'll love me. Like, don't
Maybe
start
if
having
I
moral
pay him
compass.
back.
No.
Right. Instead of paying him back because she was worried about needing it, she wrote him a message apologizing for lying to him, knowing that saying her name was Susie was a mistake, that she was trying to protect herself and her son, which I think is reasonable.
That is very reasonable. And, like, he
I-
has to know that if you do have any grasp on, what this, like, he knows what this was. He was the one that was trying to separate it. And yes, they were developing something and his feelings weren't off, but also you need to understand where you came in this situation.
Yeah, in the trenches, honestly. Margo says, you said it yourself. You were paying me to lie to you, but I can't stand the idea of thinking that you were an idiot for enjoying it. I found what we were doing beautiful. Writing you was the absolute best part of my day. I realize maybe you can't build a relationship on that. You can sure as shit build an imaginary one, and I think that we built a castle in the damn sky. Sincerely, Margo Jellybean Ghost. That's my full name, my true name. Again with the humor.
Love her.
So she really tries to backpedal, but
Yeah.
she's in a rough spot. But she's also lonely. I can't imagine how
Yeah.
isolated she feels, even though she has friends in her life. She doesn't reach out in any way. It's just like that little bubble of those 4 people she knows.
Yeah.
Into chapter 19. Ward calls Margo and tells her that Mark and his legal team are requesting a 7:30 evaluation, but they want Margo to pay for it. What's standard here is a 50-50 because Mark's a loser. Please remember that. That's kind
And
of a
now
dick move. Yeah. Like,
I didn't
can't
want to
mommy
spoil
pay
anything.
for at least half of it?
Right. Like,
Can't
we're your
mommy pay for
parents
half?
now.
Yeah. And Ward tells Margo this is going to cost her between $5,000 and $10,000. But again, a woman trying to dig herself out of a system that is stacked against her.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, and this is just such a dick move. It's so vindictive.
Yeah, this sucks. Not surprising out of Mark, but this sucks. Ward tells Margo that if the results are good, she'll get full custody with only weekly visitation from Mark. So he has fully backpedaled from full custody. And like, of course he
Yeah.
thinks that she's like mentally unsound and all this bullshit. Any angle they can get.
Right. It's just it's so malicious, and there's no good
Mhm.
intention other than trying to make Margo miserable. And I hate
Right.
him.
Right. He's just baiting her. He's like, yeah,
Yeah.
girl, pay for this test and take it because you're going to fail it. The fuck she is.
Fuck you.
And Ward warns her that part of this test is going to be the MMPI-2 personality test. And on top of that, they're really going to get in her shit. They're going to evaluate her life. They're going to come to her house, do a home visit, dig through her apartment, and it will be very invasive. And Margo thinks to herself that she is going to nail a psych evaluation. I love the confidence. I'd be scared.
Same.
I'd be like,
oh,
I don't need to find any of this out about myself.
hey, I already know all of this. So sorry. It's just me doing all this therapy intake. I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe you have to know all this about me. A little too
Right.
personal.
Whoops. So immediately after thinking she's going to nail it, we get narrator Margo. Reader, I could not tell in the slightest if I aced that psychoveil or flunked it entirely. It was so weird I couldn't believe it was a real test.
So strange. Yeah.
She arrives at the office of a woman named Dr. Sharp to take the test. Again, she couldn't believe it was real. It seemed like a series of random questions. There were questions on there, everything from things like, I like mechanics magazines, to I believe in life hereafter, or I have never indulged in unusual sex practices. This test would be so invasive. Hand to God.
No, thank you.
No. And Ward had warned her, don't just pick what seems normal because it's going to throw a false test if you just give the most normal answer. After she takes the test, it's back to real life, back to filming, and like the immediate dichotomy of like, oh, my kid's going to get taken away. I just did a personality test. Oh, back to OnlyFans.
Now I'm in paint. Like, I'm doused in paint and eating pasta.
Now that Ghost was heel, Margo wrote some of her absolute best scripts. And this makes me so happy because Jinx was like, you're a heel, and I know you don't want to be. You want to be a face, but I know you're a heel, baby. And she nails it. She was really into food pranks, and she kind of modeled this after Tessa, her old boss, making the busboy eat the dirt in the shaving cream.
Sick.
And she says, our sense of food, the thing that we needed most in order to stay alive, could be used against us. I wanted to use that for Ghost to make her a truly unforgettable heel. And I've never thought of a food prank that way, but that makes so much sense.
Right. Oh, genius. She's using all of her resources.
Yes. Love watching these ideas roll out of her brain, and they're so thoughtful and so well done.
Yeah.
They shoot their food pranks, they work all day, and they get food after. And while they're eating, Rose looks at Margo and asks why she kept the baby. And that is a question you can only ask someone that you are very close with.
Yeah. Or have this relationship, I guess.
Yeah. And Margo says that she thinks it was because she was just stupid, which really rolls around to us saying she had no resources, she had no knowledge. Like, had she known, she probably wouldn't have made this choice.
Yeah, absolutely.
She admits that she didn't really know anything that was going to happen, but she does say that having the baby made her brutally pro-choice. That's my girl. And she says, quote, you can't tell me if it was men and a medical decision would result in their penis being split open and them not being able to hold pee for the rest of their life, they wouldn't think that that should be their own decision.
As easy as that, my friend. Like,
there it
you
is.
fucking push a baby out of your penis. Yep.
That. Margo talks about how the whole world is stacked up against women, with babies finding childcare, finding work, and she tells Rose that obviously OnlyFans was not her plan. And Margo asks Rose if she thought about going back to school. And Rose says, well, not really. She was really pushed out and made to feel unwelcome in that department. The whole situation around her leaving was so sticky and icky and messy. And Rose actually really likes working on OnlyFans, and she describes it as taking care of desperate men that deserve kindness. She is a different kind of gal.
Yeah. I would have maybe omitted that last part, but yeah, she's different than I am.
For the conversation, they film one more clip, and it is an eating contest between Margo and Rigoberto. So they lock back in, they do that. Monday night, JB reaches back out to Margo. I've been thinking, he wrote, when you fall in love with a book, is it the character or the author you're falling in love with? This is... We
Poetry.
beat this dead horse in this book, and I love it. We talk about this the whole book to the point where I feel deeply that this is a self-portrait of Rufi in some way. her harping on this. Like, this is so out there.
I know. I wish I knew her on a personal level because, no, I do think the influence of experience comes through here in such a beautiful way without being the whole story.
To that, HungryGhost replies, I mean, I guess both. And JB says, and only one of them is real. And the fake one is the only one you actually get to know. This is crazy. This is more food for thought than anyone who shits on this book ever thought they'd get. But you can kind of feel the author under there, beneath the surface of the fake world you're inhabiting. Their imagination is the water you're swimming in and the air you're breathing. Even if everything you wrote to me was a lie, and I know not all of it was a lie, but even if it was, then in some sense, I would still know you. He ain't wrong.
Hey.
And HungryGhost replies, the thing is, though, a book isn't a relationship. There are these built-in guardrails to keep you from knowing the author. And the end of the book is like a chasm, cutting you off from them. And we don't have that. We might keep mistaking what's fake for what's real between us, like people eating wax fruit and wondering why it tastes bad. Like, there is writing each other those emails, and then there's actually trying to, date, if that's even what you're suggesting. JB then asks to call her, and he says that he will fly out to meet Margo.
Oh my gosh. Can you imagine
the call's coming from inside the house?
Can you imagine just like laying a line so thick? Like they both are so poetic in this like relationship, this conversational relationship that they have is amazing.
He says, I'll be right there.
I'm pulling up, mama.
Pulling up. Okay.
Oh. Pull up, JB.
Ooh. Crazy. JB tells Margo that a flight is the same price as Margo answering 3 of his questions, and she lets him know what airport to fly into. Crazy.
Yeah.
And that is where we leave chapter 19. And as we get into chapter 20, Margo goes to see Dr. Sharp for her interview. And she was nervous, but optimistic. And she was happy that Mark was no longer pursuing full custody. The doctor asks what her financial plan was after the baby was born. And she admits again that she didn't know how much having a baby would cost. I love her honesty here.
Yeah.
Because there is so much to learn from it. And Margo says that she thought having the baby was the right thing to do and it would make her feel like a good person. But her landlord doesn't care if she's a good person. Her landlord cares if she pays the rent. And that is the most, like, teenager to adult thing. That is so much growth right there.
Yeah.
And they talk about Margo's dad, and Margo tells the doctor that she's really happy to finally have someone on her side. My transparent queen. It would be really hard to just be like dug into in a way like that. And typically when you're speaking to someone like this, it's in a therapy setting and you know that they're on your side. But knowing that this woman is responsible for whether you have custody of your kid or not has to be a crazy experience.
And also, in your early 20s, girl, don't talk to me. Like, not a real person yet. Not a real person yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
huge.
We get narrator Margo once again in our ear, and she says, there are certain things I've had to lie to you about. I want you to close your eyes and actually remember what it was like to be 20. No, thank you. Think of how ridiculously, insanely, terrifyingly stupid you were. How many things you just did not know. I have tried to hide as best I can the fact that I was young, and by virtue of being young, a fucking idiot.
Real.
And this just sets the tone for our next little jump here, unfortunately. So the next morning, Jinx is taking forever in the bathroom. Susie really has to pee, so Margo elects to go in and check on him. She finds him in the bathtub, passed out with a needle hanging out of his arm. Margo is sick to find this, and he insists it won't happen again, falls asleep. Margo slaps him, and he even says at one point, like, I'd be having the time of my life if you'd stop hitting me. This is so
Fucked up.
disappointing. It's
Yeah.
funny, it's disappointing. It's like there's so much here. But for her to go through this because it felt really good to have someone on my side, and then to immediately be betrayed by him is so tough. Margo explains to Susie that lies to Susie that Jinx's back went out in the shower, and Margo gets him dressed and sends him to his room. And he admits that he was hiding drugs in the towel bar of the bathroom. This was like elaborate, but this is how it goes.
This is addiction. Yeah.
And Margo flushes the drugs, wraps the needles in toilet paper, and immediately gets handed Bodhi. So she takes them out of her pocket and throws them in her closet. She doesn't know what to do with them. She doesn't know how to get rid of them. Margo said that she was feeling both like she'd successfully defused a bomb and that she was a naive idiot who had no idea what she was doing.
Yeah.
Which I'm sure. I'm sure it's both. Ward calls and he wants to go over the deposition with Margo. And he tells her, unfortunately, that although Mark was a shit husband, he was a fine dad. Goes on to elaborate that most of the time when they interview these people, dads, that they have no idea who their kids' teachers are or pediatricians, and Mark is as good as they come, which is a bummer. It's really not great. It doesn't make Margo feel optimistic. Speaking of, mediocre dads, later, Jinx admits to Margo that he had immediately found the pill stash in her room and ran through them and then called his guy in LA. Because, of course, the professional wrestler has a drug guy in LA. And he also says that he acknowledges that this is a massive betrayal, but drugs don't make him an evil person. Which, sure. This is such a tough course to navigate. Like, as a bystander, as like empathizing with Margo, there's a lot of layers here.
Yeah.
Jinx says, if you treat it as this big, terrible thing, like every time I relapse, it's the end of the world, well, I'm just going to hide it from you more, and then I'll be in a worse spot to fight it. Margo, I've been fighting this battle my entire adult life. It's pretty normal to me. I mean, God, what a sad thing to say, but a waste of a life.
Yeah. I mean, here's the thing about Jinx. He is very honest with her and like is not trying to hide it behind like this part of addiction. And that's been since he's joined, her household, and like, he's been part of this dynamic. And this is just another layer of that. I just think it's so jarring because Margo had been on cloud 9 with Jinx. She'd been like, I have my dad in my life again. I have support. I have a support system with Bodhi. I see all of the good that he is contributing to my life. I'm just disappointed in the fact that this actually happened, or like, I can't believe, and this might make her feel like she's naive again. This is really just, I think, messing with her internal struggle with adulthood and identity in that way. And he has a huge part of that.
Yeah. And Margo replies to his little monologue and said, it wasn't a waste. Look at your children, your career. I mean, you're literally in the WWE Hall of Fame. Nothing was a waste. Like, her giving him a pep talk. I mean, I think him saying, like, I will isolate more, and him being so transparent, I think there's a lot of, I think that's really valid. But yeah, her trying to give him a pep talk in this moment when she's been betrayed by him is, again,
So
growth,
Margo.
our mature queen. So Margo. But she's also someone that's been raised very codependently with her only parent, Cheyenne. So this probably feels really normal to her to have to pick someone up in their time of need. And Jinx says that he's a terrible dad, and Margo lies to him and says that he wasn't, because he remember, he didn't meet her till she was 9 months old. There's so many layers to the betrayal after betrayal when Margo was young. Margo can't decide if she wants to kick him out or not, but she thinks about how much he does for her. And although she was young and naive, she would figure out a way to navigate this. If Margo was Margo while she was showing her vagina, then Jinx was Jinx, even if he was on drugs. And she opts to fight the fight with him, which shows a lot of empathy to realize that she's being villainized for doing something. And so is he, because I mean, people who struggle with addiction, I cannot put myself in their shoes to do that. And I have a lot of empathy for people in that situation. That's really tough.
Yeah, that lens is really hard to like see through, and being so adjacent to it for Margo in a new way, in a very new way for her. You know, relapse is its own situation. Maintenance is another thing. Like, you know, she's forming this image of Jinx, and I think this is kind of like messing with it because she wants it to
Yeah,
be positive. And like their relationship has been so in, you know, she's had to drudge up all of these feelings for him, and now that she has, you know, these big feelings about the relationship, she has to deal with the ugly too, and I don't think she was prepared for that.
agreed. The next day, they pack up the car and take Jinx to the methadone clinic. It takes 3.5 hours to get in and out. And this is one of those things, like one of the most impactful books I read this year was a memoir on addiction. And just the process of getting help seems so unattainable. Obviously, it's already so stigmatized, but actually getting help, actually trying to do something is so involved. It
Yeah.
feels like an impossible step.
Yeah, I mean, I have a lot of insight in this because of my job, and it is incredibly difficult to get any level of specialized care. That's across the board. You're
Mhm.
talking
Yeah,
anything, but then you have this huge blanket of stigma on top of it. You have this huge blanket of cost on top of it too, and access, and like actual resources. And a lot of these places are spread thin, and if they're not, they're really lacking resources, or they're lacking the support from, you know, their own staff, so like mental health providers and everyone, to conduct like a rehab in the way that people need. And it is just our flawed healthcare system at its
who would have
finest.
thought?
Yeah,
Yeah.
privatized healthcare, that's fucking crazy. This is an instance here, especially with rehabs like PHP, IOP, like all of those type of resources. It is so difficult for people to shell out the funds to do something like this, and that's really the
Yeah,
root. The root
absolutely.
of
When they finally get out of the clinic, Jinx thanks her. Margo had done a lot of research, and this was the option to have him in outpatient treatment and work on pain management at the same time. And as they left, he said that his back already felt better, and he thanks her again for her help because he probably wouldn't have taken that step. I think he says, actually, I would have used until I hit the bottom of the barrel, and then I would have gone to
around again.
treatment.
Yep. Yep.
Inpatient again. We get into chapter 21, and Margo tells her attorney, Ward, about the methadone clinic, and Ward tells her that this is not going to look good for her. And he advises her to lie on the home visit. Well, not quite lie, but definitely don't bring it up. Act like none of this happened. The relapse, the methadone, none of it.
Yeah.
And JB had booked his flight, so it was Thursday, and he was coming tomorrow. With one day in between now and his arrival, Margo has to tell Jinx. At first, Jinx was really angry and they were at odds about it, but Jinx does admit that he is happy to see Margo happy, and he agrees that if he gets to meet JB, he'll watch Bodhi while they go out to dinner, which is really nice of him.
Yeah. Big dad.
I really like seeing Jinx and Margo talk through their issues. Like this is one where they're at odds. Like learning about OnlyFans, they're at odds and they find common ground and they can kind of roll back and forth. They're really such a good team.
Yeah, they really are.
There's a massive part here about how JB rents a motherfucking haunted mansion themed Airbnb, which is hilarious to me. I love
Get me
this. I love
there.
this so much. I think the first time I read this book, I looked this up, and this is a real thing, which is everything to me. Everything they describe about the Haunted Mansion Airbnb is directly out of the ride, and it's everything. 10 out of 10 would stay here.
Yeah.
Margo is so excited when JB this is so cute and so cringy all at once. Margo's so excited when JB shows up that she trips on her way to the door, skins her knee. He has brought her flowers. She's wearing a dress and heels, and JB passes whatever test Jinx puts him through, and then they leave for dinner. And Margo immediately falls down the stairs and twists her ankle. She cannot put weight on it. And she's like, I cannot go to a fancy restaurant because I cannot walk. So they just go back to his Airbnb and order in. The second they walk in the door, he wheels over a desk chair and pushes her into the Airbnb, which is so sweet.
So cute. It's so
That's
cute.
Big brain.
Yeah. Yeah, but that's real. Her falling, I'm like, that would be me. That whole scene is hilarious because as someone who's klutzy, I was like, yeah, girl, same.
The skinned knee, I forgot that happened. So like the skinned knee was one thing, and then for it to immediately be like, and then I fell down the motherfucking stairs.
Margo, no more.
God,
get out of the heels. Wear a
take
sensible
the wedges
shoe
off. Yes, girlies for sensible shoes.
Flats, baby, flats. Grounded.
In the Haunted Mansion Airbnb, they opt to order wings and they chat while waiting for the food. The food gets there and they feast. We know our girl can chow down. The whole time they're eating, it's like kind of awkward because Margo's wondering how she's going to make a move on him. And she tells us, the listeners, that her plan was to kiss him after they left the restaurant. And he kind of catches on to it's quiet and weird. And she's like, I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to kiss you. And he goes, I was going to do it when we left the restaurant. So this is another cute little silly, goofy moment. And then they kiss. As we dive into chapter 22, Margo wakes up the next morning. And she is happy as a clam. Our girl got it in.
Yes.
Her boobs are now rock hard because she hasn't breastfed. This was like such both sides, you know? Like,
yeah.
Ooh, living it up. Oh my God, I need to pump. So she notices that her phone is ringing and she has 6 missed calls, and she immediately worries that something has happened to Bodhi.
Yeah.
She answers, and Jinx says that she needs to get home as soon as possible because the woman doing the home visit is at the house. And she told Jinx that Margo had 15 minutes to get there or she would take Bodhi, which the stress. She wakes JB up and they get her home in 8 minutes, but she's painfully aware that she looks like she had sex last night. This has to be the worst walk of shame of all time.
Oh, the shamest. The shamiest of shame.
Oh my gosh. Margo gets into the house and a woman named Mirabelle introduces herself, and she says she's from CPS and knows nothing about Dr. Sharp. Escandalo. And this is not the home visit that Margo was expecting. Someone had called CPS on Margo for neglect and abuse, which is fucked. And wait till you figure out who did it.
Yeah.
Pissed all over again. Forgot about that too.
Angry.
Hateful. Mirabelle says that she's there to evaluate the home, and if she doesn't find any immediate danger to Bodhi, he will be able to stay in the home. While they're talking, Jinx, God love him, notices Margo's ankle and like freaks out about it, which makes Mirabelle suspicious. Because, oh, you came home looking like that with a twisted ankle? Girl, what were you doing? Of course, she thinks that Margo's drinking or whatever. And Margo's not 21 yet. Please remember, she is 20 years old. So she asks Margo questions about Bodhi, what he likes and dislikes. And while this is happening, Bodhi has a blowout. Margo can feel it as she's holding him. Her ankle is about to give out. And she is just trying to keep it together. They head into Margo's room. Mirabel kind of makes a comment about Bodhi not having enough toys, and Margo reaches into the closet and pulls out his bin of toys. Me screaming because
Yeah.
Margo remembers that she threw Jinx's needles in her closet because she didn't know what to do with them. The
Stress.
stress. The questions keep happening. They're absolutely relentless. And Mirabel turns around to look at the changing table, and all Margo can think is, thank God she does not want to look in this closet anymore. Which ain't
Yeah.
that the truth?
Same girl.
Mirabel offers to change Bodhi because she needs to check him for any bumps and bruises. It's also important to note here that Miss Mirabel is pregnant herself.
Lumbering
So
around.
this is so, sometimes women are evil to other women. Like, this is it. There is a Taylor Swift lyric that is, women like hunting witches too, doing your dirtiest work for you. And this is that moment.
And like
This is
when
it.
when they were like, oh, like pointing out that she was pregnant as well, as like, oh, maybe she'll be like, maybe she'll see something in her, like whatever. No, I just, yeah, this is
The
complex for,
lack, I understand that CPS does good work sometimes. It's not a black and white situation, but it just feels so evil for a pregnant woman to be in another woman's house trying to take her kid away, especially when we know the full picture. It just really sucks. As Mirabel is changing Bodhi's diaper, she is gagging. She is fumbling it. She can't use the wipe properly. And I'm like, fuck you.
yeah, for real.
So it's really frustrating that she can't even properly change a diaper. And then she points out diaper rash on Bodhi and kind of grills Margo about it. Like, are you sure that
What's
this is
this?
diaper rash? Yes,
Yeah.
I'm sure, bitch. And they sit down to talk, and she asks directly if Jinx has substance abuse issues. And Margo can't lie because this is something that you can Google because he's a public figure. She does tell her that Jinx is on methadone. She feels like that's her only option for what she can say. It's immediately apparent that Mirabel does not think that Margo is clean either and asks her to take a urine test. Margo knows that she will ace this. Jinx takes one next, which we know how that's going to go, but she was transparent about it.
Mhm.
And Mirabel tells Margo that she's going to check in with Cheyenne and Kenny, as well as Bodhi's doctor, just to get a fuller picture of his life. And on the way out, she tells Margo that Jinx can't be on methadone if Bodhi is to stay in the house.
Yes, this whole back and forth is very true to life and unfortunately the reality. And again, more stigma on treatment options for people. And, this is harm reduction, people. Harm reduction is everywhere in our lives. Like we don't need to like also like treat it icky. Like a fucking
Right.
seatbelt is harm reduction. Someone being on methadone because it is proven to support, someone's recovery is exactly that. And it's so
Mm-hmm.
stigmatized within our systems. And
Right.
again, like here's this woman absolutely fucking digging in because she believes right off the bat that she is an unfit mother. And it's so interesting as a reader seeing, the image that she gets from Margo, her living situation, whatever she looks like right now, the dynamic, yada yada yada, picking out every little thing and knowing what we know about Margo and how hard she's worked to make this work is
Yeah.
really the picture. You don't ever know what's happening behind closed doors, and in the positive way too. Sorry. Margo, that wasn't a jab.
In chapter 23, we are dealing with the aftermath of the visit. Jinx and Margo are going back and forth, going over every detail of the meeting, like in excruciating ways, trying to figure out who made the call. And then they realize that Margo did the mushrooms on the podcast. They wonder if that's going to show up on Margo's drug test. They do some Googling. It looks like they won't, but if they do decide to do a hair follicle test, it does appear that it will. Jinx then, I mean, not really dad of the year, but dad of the year when it counts. He examines Margo's ankle. He's dealt with injuries his entire life and decides that it's a
Mhm.
sprain. And this is really what sets Margo over the edge. And she just bursts into tears, wondering, what is going to happen because everything's so up in the air and she just feels like everything's coming down on her, which
It's
is
layer after
fair.
layer.
It's terrible. Yeah.
Yeah, it's literally today, Thursday the 9th. Like, get it.
Could you
Stop.
say everything is stacked against her?
Right. Oh, my girl.
Yeah, it's such a tough place to be. So she calms down, and her first plan of action is to throw the needles away that are in the closet. The
Yes.
stress in that scene,
Please.
I can't.
Just to like
Throw
add
'em.
another layer, I was like, oh my God, yeah, they're in the closet. 'Cause she just tossed them. She was trying to diffuse the situation. Oh,
Right.
I'm stressed. I'm stressed all over again.
Yeah. JB calls her. It's his last day in town. They have like tentative lunch plans. And she is like, I absolutely cannot make this happen, even though it's the day he leaves. And then she breaks things off with him because she needs to focus on everything going on in her life, which is actually incredibly responsible of her.
Yeah. Probably was a good choice.
Yeah, it really was. Margo apologizes to him, but she says that this is going to be something that she regrets, which is a bummer. You just want her to get ahead.
Yeah.
Margo then flashes back to the night before. Her and JB are in the hot tub after having sex, and she says that everything in that moment was perfect. But looking back on it, quote, of course I didn't get to be that happy. Why had I thought I deserved such a thing?
No, you do. I hate this.
She does. She
Ugh,
does.
get me out.
Jinx leaves, and he comes back with not only orange meal for both of them, but an ankle brace for the queen.
Ugh,
And he decides it's best that he moves out. King, it like
he's being
making big
responsible.
adult choices. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I understand he is the adult here, but he says he feels really hopeful on the methadone, which I think is a great place for him to be. Because even right before they did it, he said, like, I've been fighting with this my whole life and I'm gonna keep fighting this battle. And for him to
Right.
feel hopeful, like they are finally trying something that could potentially work.
Yeah.
So after that, Margo decides that she needs to quit OnlyFans. But you're so good at it.
It's just, I feel like she's just been worked down so hard at this point, and she's trying to make the right decision. She's trying. Everything feels wrong. She's trying to stand by her decisions, her guns, and she really is, I think, in attempt to do the right thing, trying to make the best choice here. But like it quickly turns for Margo in a way that really puts in perspective like the choices she has made and how she's gotten
Mhm.
herself to this point, especially with the OnlyFans specifically. And I let me not get ahead of myself, but yes, I do think that she has.
Yeah.
This is just highlighting maybe this like long list of complexity that she has to the hoops she has to jump through, and then she's
Right.
making this decision again to like try to make this normal, try to give Bodhi everything he wants, like he needs,
Mhm.
like it just need. I just want her to listen to herself though. And
Right.
we get
Right.
it, we get it. So I'm not trying to be like, but we get
But
to see her
I'm
go through this
sure
arc.
it feels like to her in her head, like if I ditch OnlyFans, Mark will give up, CPS won't care. Like that seems
Right,
like the thing she can get rid of to relieve all the tension.
right.
But the tension will still exist because it's a war on women, my queen.
Ooh, tell him.
Oh, she drafted the announcement to her fans that night. She explained that she was going back to her home planet and she'd miss them all terribly, and that she'd sculpted exact replicas of each of their penises out of tinfoil, and she planned to eat one a day until they were all gone. I want to
Mm,
exist in her brain.
for real.
Like, my girl, the thinker. She can't bring herself to post it, but knows without a job and without childcare, she's in a really bad place. So she starts to look into real estate. LOL, baby. I just, if anyone, if this podcast touches anyone who thinks, I'll just do real estate, girl, no.
It's like
Real estate is
how
not a get rich quick scheme
no,
unless
yeah.
you are a Nepo baby or fall into some incredible connections, because every person you know already knows 5 realtors. Hand to God. Ask them.
This is so woven too. Like, just think about the books we've read and how we've transitioned into, like, how funny
I
this is.
know.
It's so intentional, obviously.
Not really, but yeah. This also just kind of feels like a personal attack because I remember getting into real estate and being like, I'm going to turn my life around. I'm going to be rich. No. Real estate costs a lot of money. So, Dr. Sharp arrives at Margot's house for her scheduled visit, and Margot's honest about Jinx and the methadone. She tells her that she's quitting OnlyFans and getting into real estate, which, again, no. Any independent contractor job is such a crapshoot. Like, it is genuinely akin to being like, I'm going to be a gig worker. I'm going to be a photographer. I'm going to be a guitar player. Like,
It is.
1099 is hardly a career path and not something you can immediately pivot to and rely on. You can be
No,
very successful doing those things. It's just really difficult.
it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. I mean, we know.
We, us gig workers, know. While Dr. Sharp is evaluating Margo and Bodhi, she starts feeding him and she's actually taught Bodhi sign language. This scene's so cute because Bodhi is just signing more over and over and over again. She mashes him up bananas. She feeds him and he just is a complete mess, and Margo's having this great time feeding him. And after eating, Margo gives Bodhi a bath because he's absolutely filthy and goes to get him ready for bed. And Dr. Sharp says thank you and says it's time to head out. And she seems satisfied, even before the full bedtime ritual happens. Margo, after Dr. Sharp left, wanted to call JB for support, but knew that that wouldn't be fair to him. So she is still thinking about the jelly bean boy.
She is she's just very in tune to people, and I think that's her strong suit and where we watch her shine throughout this book. She might not have been equipped with the resources to make the best decisions, and she's navigating this whole
Mm-hmm.
mess, but she can connect with people in a way that I don't think a lot of people can, and that's where she really is chef's kiss Margo and like why we love her as a character.
Yeah. The next morning, it's chapter 24, and Margo shows up at Kenny's condo to talk to her mom. And she walks out and immediately notices Margo's car. It's like a purple Civic with a dent. Like, of course she knows that's her
Yeah.
kid's car. Margo apologizes to her and tells her that she's getting a real estate license so she can be something that Cheyenne is proud of. Hey, love your kids and they'll love you
Yeah.
back.
Surprised it's that easy.
Weird. Cheyenne is very against this. She's not really willing to accept this. She had walked out of the house with a puppy also, which Cheyenne, everything I know about her, not a dog lady.
Yeah. Not at all.
Yeah. And Margo asks about the dog and she says it was Kenny's dream, so they got it. Cheyenne's really miserable until it becomes time for her to explain to Margo her system for gambling while they were in Vegas. She would sneak out the hotel room, gamble till 4 a.m., and sneak back in. And she also won almost $10,000 and hid it from Kenny. Crazy start to your marriage, ma'am.
Yeah, I mean, and that just it's all rooted a lot like their whole marriage is this like pillar for her, and she's just like removed her real self from the whole thing, and it's very weird. I cannot wait to see Michelle Pfeiffer as this character really
Same.
just giving it to us because that feels like such a perfect fit.
Yeah. So for whatever reason, Cheyenne makes her a pre-workout. That's such a odd
Tweaking.
layer to this scene. Yeah, they are buzzing off this pre-workout. And Cheyenne is just so excited about Margo's career shift that she starts planning outfits for her. She's like, I'm thinking a skirt suit and yada yada. And then she goes on to say, I'm just so darn glad you came to your senses. I mean, I knew you would. I knew you didn't want to lose that baby, but I'm so glad. And Margo realizes that she did not tell Cheyenne about the CPS case. And Cheyenne comes clean that Kenny was the one that called CPS and Kenny would not give her a moment's peace until they were called.
Which is also a fucking lie. He probably mentioned it, and she didn't want the image. She didn't want all the baggage with
Not
it.
at her new church.
No,
Nope.
not with her new man. Yeah. Uh, this was fucking infuriating to listen to again, to read again. I'm so bad all around.
Yeah. And Cheyenne says, "What was I supposed to do? Kenny isn't the most adjustable guy." And Margo asks her, "Then why'd you marry him?" And Cheyenne said, "You don't think every day I wonder if I made a mistake, but it's the choice I made. It's the only choice I thought I had in this moment."
Yeah.
And this goes back to a conversation we've had every episode. Margo
Mhm.
doesn't have the tools because Cheyenne didn't have the tools. Cheyenne is in every trench Margo is in. She is emotionally immature. She's stuck in this rut.
Right. And here your daughter is surpassing you in every way, showing that you can be all of these things as well as yourself and staying true to who you are and your needs and like supporting everyone. Like it's just I a character like Cheyenne is so hard to like empathize with. And I know we're supposed to kind of get that empathy here with like, yeah, she also wasn't equipped. She's trying to make the best decisions as she can. And I just really don't have it for her though. I mean, she put her child in danger. I don't know
Yeah.
anyone knows that calling CPS on anyone is huge and really
Yeah.
life altering, and the justice system, especially in this country, is a fucking mess. So like it just feels like very frivolous in her, like she's just so whatever and blasé about things, and it's really
Because someone,
irritating.
but,
I don't have empathy for her.
again, for the 1000th time, Cheyenne was there. Cheyenne was working at Hooters in the 90s,
Yep.
in the 90s, in the early 2000s. This could have been Cheyenne. She could have
Right.
lost her baby. And for her not to be able to empathize and just like bend over to please Kenny
What was
is
I
so
supposed
fucked
to
up.
do? Kenny was upset about it. Like,
Right.
girl, I hate the man
Heard.
pleaser. What
Yeah.
what do we call them? Annoying.
Annoying. So Margo says, narrator Margo here, Kenny was a sure thing. That was his whole deal. And here she was asking me to understand how fucked up the world was and how trapped she was in it, which is our point. Whether we have empathy or not, that's our point. She'd been asking me to do that my whole life, and I always had. I understood she couldn't magically make Jinx stay with us and love us. I understood that she needed romance, and that meant dating men I didn't like or want to be around. I understood that she needed to work weekends. I understood that we didn't make that much money. I'd understood that she needed a beer after work. I'd understood when cooking dinner was beyond her. I loved her. I understood it all. And
Oof.
I think that that's not only Margo, like, realizing that her mom's trapped, that's Margo crying out, like, "I've been flexible this whole fucking time, and you can't give me a fucking inch?"
Right. Like I have been your support system. We see it with them going dress shopping. We see it with her like constantly coddling her feelings. Like that's their dynamic. And even this is her reflecting as a child. Like I understood all of that. And here you are not having the empathy for me, your own baby, going through something you exactly what you've gone through.
Yeah. Yeah, and Margo continues on. She knows that Cheyenne's just trying to make her feel bad, but this is not a way for Cheyenne to act like she cares. And Margo tells her, "You care about not pissing off your new husband so you can keep dressing in Lululemon and seeing your personal trainer." And that
Good.
is what fucking Cheyenne needed to hear.
Yeah. Tell her
That
about herself.
so fucked. That is life altering for her to hear. Girl obviously rushes home like anyone would. I couldn't imagine. So Margo gets home and she sees that her 7:30 eval is back. And there is a full rundown of all of Dr. Sharp's findings from the home visit to the personality test. And Margo has passed.
I love this right after that such a devastating blow for her to be validated as a human, as a parent, because they go through and she's like, I don't even know they were thinking about that. And like for
Right?
her to get that boost of validation, it's like the exact opposite that what she was getting from the social worker with CPS. And I think that's great. And also coming off of her mother, everyone's telling
Yeah.
her that she is not good enough for this. She's not doing a great job. Like she's struggling. She's making all the wrong decisions. And here in some way, like a silly little test I didn't really understand, but she's getting affirmed in that way. And I'm really
Yeah.
happy for Margo because I think it sets the tone for her for the last few chapters here
Yes.
and how she moves through that experience.
And something else that's in here, so I didn't include the letter because it is really long. I'd love to read it, but it's pages long. But one of the things that Dr. Sharp says is that Margot's parenting style is ideal. She specifically commented on Margo being willing to feed Bodhi and let him get so messy and use his fine motor skills and then just giving him a
Mhm.
bath. Um,
She's like
it
it's
feels
like
good to win.
they're like, "This is like, with all of the studies we've done, this is ideal parenting, like, this is ideal like, what she's doing is ideal," and that must feel
Incredible, especially because she
so
doesn't know.
validating.
She's just flying by the seat of her
Right.
pants here.
We'll get our
Mhm.
instincts working.
Yes, and Dr. Sharp's recommendation is that she gets physical and legal custody of Bodhi, and Margo realizes that she might be able to keep this from going to court. Because
"Fuck
fuck
you,
you,
Mark.
Mark.
Fuck
Fuck
you,
you, Mark.
Mark." Me and my homies hate
Chapter
Mark.
25, the fuck you, Mark chapter of all fuck you, Mark chapters. Buckle up. Margo arrives at Mark's house and realizes that he is living in the carriage house behind his mother's house, which the maid calls the cottage. Loser.
Not my cottage. Not my cottage.
No, I'm not coming to the cottage. Margo knocks and he opens the door and he looks like shit.
Good.
Good. Good. She walks in. Mark flips a light on. He's sitting in his house in the dark in the middle of the day. Mark flips a light on. It's just gross in there. There's pizza boxes, empty like cans, just the whole nine. And Margo point blank asks Mark what he wants, what is his goal. And Mark says when Jinx called him, he had to tell Sarah because his phone kept ringing. He takes this crazy call. He was so scared. And Sarah is the one who felt like Mark needed to take responsibility for his actions.
A woman.
And in that moment, Margo's like, you don't even know if this woman's going to take you back and you're going to get full custody of a baby, which she would hate that baby forever.
Yeah. I mean, that's
Yeah.
the evil stepchild.
Margo wants to know if Mark really cared about the OnlyFans. And he confesses that he subscribed and bought her Rigoberto video because
Fuck
he's
you, Mark.
nasty.
Fuck you, Mark.
Nasty. I would bring, if this went to trial, I'd bring that up in court.
Yeah. Well, he bought it. He's the real freak. Still,
Yeah.
a freak is always a
Yeah.
freak. We get a little glimpse from future Margo here where like it kind of alludes, I think, somewhere later, but like they still have like some sort of relationship, not like romantic or anything, but they're cordial. And I'm just like, I cannot imagine having this man in my life
No, that
forever.
really tried to take you down. That really like put
Yes.
you through one of
Maliciously.
the worst seasons of your life after pretending like he cared about you. Mark asks to meet Bodhi, and Margo says, absolutely you can anytime, but she doubles back again. If I keep doing OnlyFans, will you sue for full custody? And he
Mhm.
says no. And he knows because he says, you're his mother, you're all he's ever known, and he couldn't actually picture having full custody of Bodhi. What was the point, Mark?
To be a fucking dick. Fuck you, Mark.
Yes.
How many fuck you Marks are we going to have in here?
Margo leaves Mark's house with a plan for Mark to meet Bodhi, which, like, I get it, but come on. She's much more forgiving. I think she has to be more forgiving than I am. So,
bigger than me.
You know, Margo, you're a queen. And that night, Margo looks through the plan that she was making for CPS to transfer to real estate, and she admits that she hates the entire idea. Finally, a woman coming to her senses. And while she's doing this, Margo is visited by a vision. This killed me. She's visited by a vision of Ric Flair, and he tells her, Margo, to be the man. Woo! You gotta beat the man. Put me on the floor. That was so funny. So she thinks about it. Her angel from above has spoken to her. And she calls up her lawyer and says, hey, Ward, want to make a little more money and help me with some case research? I think I may have been going about something all wrong. And this kind of gave me flashbacks to the end of Best Offer Wins, how we get a piece of the plan but don't know the plan.
Yeah.
I'm like, what are you cooking? And I couldn't remember because I haven't read the book in a couple of years. I was like, what's going on?
Yeah, same. Because this moves so fast. These last 3 chapters have a ton in them and like they move real quick.
Margo arrives at Ward's office, brings him donuts, and tells him that CPS doesn't often rule in favor of moms doing cam work. And together, they form a plan. What's the plan? Wait and find out, bitch. After that, we find out that Jinx rented a house with a pool. He says that it's for Bodhi, who cannot swim. And Margo realizes that the distance is going to be okay. And she realizes also that she wants to make amends with Cheyenne, but doesn't know how. Cheyenne hardly deserves it.
No, she's better than me again. She's really given everyone the space to redeem themselves here.
She's the most adult member of her family.
Yeah, for real.
Chapter 26 starts with Mark coming to meet Bodhi, which I could not imagine. Margo with that baby trying to piece a conversation together.
Yeah, get me out of that room.
Brutal. Before Mark arrives, Margo warns Jinx about how small Mark is, which is everything. The smallest man who ever lived, coming to meet. And Jinx still asserts. He goes, Margo, I'm telling you, that kid's going to be huge.
Yeah.
This just kills me.
Man.
He's like, that baby is going to be a wrestler and he's going to be
just
huge.
Huge. Big boy.
Just how he says it kills me. But Mark gets there. Everyone gets along fine. And Bodhi is 7 months old and popping teeth. And Mark cries when he meets him.
All right, whatever.
Whatever, loser. You waited 7 months? While they're all there, the doorbell rings. And it's Mirabelle. That bitch is back. Not the good Mirabelle from Encanto. The shitty one from CPS.
The shitty one from CPS. Oh, that was killer.
She comes in and Margo immediately goes to her room and grabs the pink binder, which has all the things she was working on with Ward. And she gets ready to do the damn thing. She starts to get into it, but Mirabelle cuts her off. She reports that Jinx tested positive for opiates on his drug test. No shit. We knew this the whole time.
Yeah.
And Margo announces that Jinx is moving out, so it doesn't matter. Mirabelle asks for a copy of his lease, and Margo says it's all in the binder. Mirabelle asks what the binder's all about, and Margo tells her it's examples of case law regarding previous CPS cases against cam girls in the state of California. That's my crafty bitch.
Go, girl.
Mirabelle kind of laughs it off. She's absolutely unimpressed and tells Margo that she passed the drug test, but next they'll need to do a hair test. Witch hunt.
Guys.
Leave her alone.
She's got it. She's got it.
Don't worry. In Margo, we trust. Margo says that she will absolutely take the test if Mirabelle comes back with a warrant, just like Ward instructed her to do. Mirabelle tells her that this is a really bad look for her, But Margo settles herself and presents the 7:30 eval, as well as the letter from Mark supporting her to be working on OnlyFans. On top of those two things, in the binder, there are cases of people suing the state of California for CPS ruling against mothers who are on campsites or OnlyFans. Even a case where a mother sued and won $2.2 million.
Yes, yes, yes. When she was like,
Margo said, I have my pink binder.
hey, what, you want to be in court while you're postpartum?
Oh. And Margo also brings up the fact that Mirabelle threatened to take Bodhi twice unless they complied with her, which she was never able to do. And it was absolutely a fear tactic. And Margo tells us over and over again that Ward, when Margo told him that, this was the game changer, which I love. Mirabelle is scared shitless by all this information and immediately starts to backpedal. And is like, whoa, 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 it's not that serious. We don't have to do this.
Guys, it's all good.
It's so good. I think you're a great mom. You make money. You're competent. And Mirabelle tells her, oh, look at you. Mirabelle tells her that she will be closing the case and leaving Margo's house. That felt so good.
Yeah, like get out. That I was reading this last chapter at the gym, the treadmill, and I was like, yes, go Margo, yes.
It feels so good for someone that felt so, at the beginning of this book, she felt so helpless. She felt like such a non-entity, like such a non-player in a situation she was in. And again, it goes back to her being a disruptor. She's not only going to make this better for her, she's going to make it better for everyone.
Exactly that. Well said. Ooh. You really ate at that one.
Thinking. This thinking. Higher than a 5th grade reading level.
I'm losing it. I can't with you.
And now we arrive at chapter 27, which is the final chapter in the book. Let's fucking go. After Mirabelle leaves, Jinx and Margo are so excited. They're giddy. They call Casey and Rose to come over and celebrate. They get takeout. And at the end of the night, it's just Susie and Margo. And Susie asks if she's really going to quit OnlyFans. And if she was, when was Margo going to tell her that she doesn't have a job anymore?
Susie's just like, hey, guys. Hey, will anyone communicate with me?
Margo tells her that she was going to hire her on full-time as a nanny. And Susie says that all she ever really wanted was to be a part of the team. Susie was a real one to Margo from the second she oh, you're a porn star. That's glamorous. Yes, you can use my cosplay. Susie was a real one this whole time. JB called Margo at the end of February and said that he was in LA. Crazy. Once again, still shocked. Margo brings Bodhi and they meet at her second favorite Arby's. He admits that he's never been to an Arby's, so Margo decides to order for them and she goes big. Like something for everyone big. Back at the table, JB tells her that she doesn't think that they should be together romantically. And JB realized that DC had massively changed since the election and that he hates his job. Weird. Weird. He not only hates his job, but he completely hates his life there. And he has a business proposition for Margo. He had been thinking on it and he didn't want to let their connection go. And Margo was immediately really surprised because she thought that he was going to be like, I love you and we need to be together. So this was honestly a kind of refreshing take. Yeah, that's what I was expecting. And Margo admits that she has zero idea what machine learning for advertising is. Girl, same. Again, I thought it was some AI bullshit, which it kind of still sounds like it is.
It does sound like it.
So JB uses the example of evaluating HungryGhost followers for finding out who her average subscriber is. And then he could market to them specifically. And he wants to start a consulting company to help OnlyFans creators target their audience and grow their business. This is so big brain.
Yeah, this is a
This is
man.
so smart. He says that no one else is doing this right now and they're going to catch on, but if they hop on it first, they will have an opportunity to get in there before like the big dogs get in there and establish their name.
Yep.
Genius.
Love it.
And he also suggests that Margo can do writing for creators, help them with their character, and make them scripts. So she still gets to feed that beast, but have a legitimate job. I mean, not that her other job wasn't legitimate, but not be naked on the internet if she doesn't want to. She could absolutely still be on OnlyFans, but she don't gotta be. Margo says, what JB was offering, it was beyond even my own wildest ambitions. JB was offering me the chance to become Vince McMahon.
I love
This set me over the edge. Dead.
This is to tickle
This
you
is
so
so
good.
funny.
Just know in my heart, I picked that book for you back at book club. I saw that and I was like,
I'm
this
glad
is
it won.
right up our alley.
So good. Margo is immediately in love with the idea. And JB confesses that he's already quit his job. He quit it the second he realized he hated it. Oh, what comfort must be.
Right?
Margo touches JB's hand and they acknowledge that their connection is still absolutely electric, but they cannot be together if they are going to work together. They leave the Arby's. This is such a sweet moment because Margo takes Bodhi outside and JB cleans up the whole table. He's like, I understand what you're doing. Let me handle this. They take a walk around the block and discuss business plans. And Margo also asks if they can do something with VPNs or whatever to prevent people from being doxxed. Because that is something, mover and a shaker. She's going to change the system and she's going to disrupt what people think about people on OnlyFans. They come up with the name Ghost Inc., and Margo invites JB to come over tomorrow. And before they part, JB gives her a gallon-sized Ziploc bag full of runts. This is so cute. He says he sat at the mall with like $20 in quarters, turning the crank machine.
Oh my
Simp.
God. Yeah, he loves her.
The book ends on this quote. And we shook on it there under the glowing red hat of the Arby's, with Ric Flair and the Virgin Mary smiling down on us, willing the story to go on, to never end, to start over again, one adventure leading to the next, and we would never die, and we'd be young forever, and we would scream to the crowd, look at me, look at the beautiful, insane things I can do with my body, look at me, love me, because that's all art is in the end. One person trying to get another person they have never met to fall in love with them.
Rufi. Excellent.
To say that we are excited for this TV show is such an understatement because we love this story
alone
so much. And we're invested, and we know how much Rufi loves this story because we posted about our book club and she reached out to us almost immediately when we tagged her. We have been blessed to have a couple quick interactions with her, and it's so fun that authors that write books like this are accessible.
Yeah, it's really weird.
And this book is so special. This book is so fun, and if you hated it, you're wrong.
Yeah, I love themes of like self-identity and, all this. I love a juicy character development. You know this about me. And I think Margo is just the perfect person. I was looking for reviews for Read the Read, and there was a crazy take that I couldn't even bring to the table because it was so upsetting. But they kind of said Margo was a vessel, but I'm like, she really was the whole thing. And she embodied so many different people, and this story had so many layers and idiosyncrasies, and I'm obsessed with Ruby's writing. I haven't read her other book, Knockout Queen, but I need to.
Same.
It's just excellent writing. I think this was so funny and cute and kitschy, and I just love Margo as a character. A lovable Margo, everyone.
I'm gonna immediately put a hold on Knockout Queen.
I know. I literally was thinking about it earlier today. I was like, I'm putting my holds on. I've been reading a lot. So
girly. I'm grabbing the last copy from the New York Public Library. I think it's very possible that both of us end up back on the mic to discuss the TV show at some point.
Oh yeah, a little
In
mini.
compare and contrast of this. I think that'd be a really great idea. It comes out next week.
Today next week. Yes, ma'am.
Today next week, baby. So yes, probably once the whole thing's out, we'll do an episode on it. Just
Yeah.
because we never want to part ways with the story. We love it.
No, so good. Give it its flowers. You ready to read the read?
I am ready to read the read. Would you like me to go first?
Sure. Let her rip.
Okay. I have 2 tiny reviews because I would just like to express the dichotomy of these reviews. The first one is a 1/2-star review from 3 weeks ago from Carol.
Fresh.
Carol is not an old lady, I checked. And it says, "This is the worst book I've ever read, and I cannot believe it's being made into a movie." It's a TV show. "I kept reading, thinking and hoping it would get better, and it never did. Characters were very flat and dumb. Very disappointing."
Flat and dumb. She's not good with adjectives. Carol.
Did
Carol,
her
that's
dad
wrong.
abandon her as a child to be a professional wrestler and she's triggered?
Maybe.
Okay. And then my second review is from Shauna. Not Johnna, Shauna. And it is a 4.5-star review. And it says, "Came for the college student having her professor's baby and starting an OnlyFans, and stayed for the original writing, multi-layered characters, and non-preachy exploration of sex work in the age of TikTok."
I almost picked that one. Yeah. Nailed it, girl. Nailed it.
Love that.
Okay.
What you got for me?
Well, mine is 3-star review from Alyssa, and she says, "Strawberry is the best Nutrigrain bar flavor."
That's it. So
it
good.
gagged me.
You said that was a 5-star?
That was a 3-star, which was crazy, but that was the takeaway. I love 3-star feels like I have things to say about this. And she used her big voice. This was a great one.
That's hilarious.
Fabulous pick.
Yeah,
another good.
we love this book.
I mean,
Another
we're obviously
good
litting
book.
it. I'm litting it. Are you litting it?
This book is lit. I am not going to leave it. I love this, as I've said, with every single book that we've reread. I love this book even more the second time, and getting to big brain it feels even better.
Absolutely.
I cannot wait to see this play out in front of my eye holes. I do have to say real quick, because we were harping on and on about how we were worried about how much screen time Cheyenne and Jinx have together.
Mm-hmm.
One scene in particular that I saw from one of the previews is it does appear that Cheyenne goes to mediation with Margo, and I don't like that.
I don't like that either.
And Margo like jumps across the table at Mark.
Yes, that's right. We'll see. It dramatized for television.
What if they don't let Cheyenne be evil?
I think that's like the duality of their parents, though. That's such the themes of dual identities in this
can't
book
have a face without a heel. Light and dark.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I'm like keeping it loose, but yeah, the previews, some of them have made me a little like, okay, choices, but we aren't in the mind. And I know,
but then some of them have direct quotes,
right? So like, what was worth not being in there? But I don't know.
I believe.
Well, this was amazing.
Well done, my friend. This was so fun. Thank you. We're gonna take a little break on the books for a little while. Lots of interviews, a few like theme episodes coming up. We're going to talk about Project Hail Mary. We're going to do a little Q&A action. We are going to do some fun like guess the review, and we are really excited. Yeah. We like it here. Thanks for loving us. And please rate, review. Please subscribe. Spotify tells me every time. Remind
Please.
your followers to subscribe.
For the love of
Aye,
God.
Captain Spotify. Right? Anything else for the people?
I don't think so.
I'm going to show off my Kenny Omega one more time.
Cutie.
Special edition Street Fighter.
Goody.
And with that,
we will see
you at the library.
Make a dance. Dance, Kenny, dance.